Hey, welcome to Polk Place. I'm Brian Lacey, and getting to be about that time of year, I want to talk to you about the Marine Corps Reserve's Polk County Toys for Tots program. If we're going to talk that, obviously we are talking to Angela Davis, Toys for Tots with Polk County. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Not so much welcome, but welcome back.
Exactly, and thank you. And I want to tell you before we get started.
Yeah.
This show has actually helped a lot. I get a lot of good feedback after these programs air, so thank you for having me.
Hey, listen, anytime that we can help you, I mean, hey, anytime. Come back and see me, because we have some of the best conversations.
We do. We actually do.
Nothing we can put on TV.
Yeah, we can't air them all, but yes.
So talk to me a little bit. How did you get involved with the Polk County chapter?
Well, originally I got involved because of David Waller, who, of course, we lost back in 2022. I was helping him with the fundraising side of it, and when Wally passed, before he passed, he actually was in the hospital and he called me, and I went and he says, "You've got to take care of the baby," referring to Toys for Tots. So I am now in my third year as coordinator for Toys for Tots, and it really is, it's a labor of love.
When you started this, when you started volunteering, did you got behind and saw a certain aspect to it, but now you're in a position where you see all the moving parts. Let's talk a little bit about, honestly, the undertaking of what it takes to provide for those who need it the most in this county during the holidays. Well,
one thing we need to also recognize is that in Polk County, I mean, we've all seen the reports, this county is growing. It's one of the fastest growing, I think, in the United States from reports I've read. Our demand is up. You know, where this started out as an organization that did maybe 7,000 to 8,000 kids a year, we're doing over 15,000 children. And to make sure people understand, these are kids who qualify. Their families qualify by getting assistance through the county. That's how we vet them. We make sure these are people who are getting WIC, food stamps, different types of assistance. So we know that they're falling in that poverty level where Christmas is going to be a struggle for these families. So they do have to be vetted, they have to qualify. But again, you think about that. Over 15,000 children, Brian, we're taking care of in this county. We are the largest supplier of Christmas support in Polk County, and it's done 100% by volunteers. I'm not paid. Nobody who comes into that warehouse, that person who brings that box to that business, the drop box collection, they're not paid. This is truly a Polk County volunteer labor of love. And one of the other points I want to make clear, and I get these calls all the time, people call, "We want to do an event for Toys for Tots. Can you send me some Marines?" Well, I wish I could.
Yeah, that's the cool aspect
That's
of this.
it. And this is where a lot of the confusion lies, because we are the Marine Toys for Tots program, but in Polk County we don't have a base, so we don't have Marines. So if you're in a community like Tampa, they have a base there. So they have Marines who run this program. And when you go to the Toys for Tots conference, the kind of inside joke is, oh yeah, there's the Marines, they're voluntold.
Yeah.
Then there's the LCOs, the local coordinators like myself, we're volunteers.
Yeah.
But literally, it takes this community coming together. Knock on wood, somehow every year we manage to do it, but it takes a lot to make this happen.
I want you to talk about that 100% we were talking before. Traditionally, this is a nonprofit that's helped by the generosity of people donating of their time. It's those that don't have the work hours of the 8 to 5 grind. A lot of your core is getting older and no longer can fulfill the duties. Talk to me a little bit about what you need. I need you to recruit for me, girl.
Well, you know, and that is part of the problem. We find that a lot of our core volunteers, they're retirees, they've gotten older, they've hit health problems. We work in a donated warehouse space. Thank God it's donated. I will give a shout out to CWI Logistics for that. We don't have heat, we don't have air conditioning, so it's not the ideal work environments, you know. And finding people who want to come in and volunteer their time and work under those conditions in that heat, it's a bit dirty, and it's a lot of time on your feet on concrete. It takes its toll, especially on the older generation. I know, I don't think I'm that old yet, but I'm getting up there. There's days I leave there, my legs are killing me. It's a hard job. but it's a rewarding job at the end. But at this point, we've got to find more younger people to come in. I would like to see the schools kind of utilize this for their Bright Star programs and stuff like that, send those in. We have different community groups, you know, your Kiwanis, your Rotary, even if it's a business. You can take, we have Legoland sends over a couple days a year, they send over employees. There's all kinds of options to try and bring in younger people, but we definitely need those younger hands on deck. I don't think a lot of people in the community also realize, you know, again, I talk about what a huge undertaking this is. A few years ago, the Salvation Army for 2 years tried to run this program in Polk County and finally gave up because it is such a demand on people's time. But yeah, we need those younger people. And I think another problem we run into, you know, when you go out and you volunteer somewhere and you're meeting those people, like you're going Meals on Wheels and you're taking that meal and you're handing it to someone, you see the smile on their face and all that. We don't get quite that gratitude.
That payoff.
Because we don't see those children on Christmas morning. Yeah. And I've had some people say that to me. I don't really get kind of their idea of where that comes from. I wake up on Christmas morning and there may not be anything there for me because I don't care. Yeah. My reward is knowing that out there in Polk County, myself and along with a great group of people who have taken the time, that there's 15,000 plus kids out there waking up with a smile on their face on Christmas morning who probably would have had nothing.
One of the folks that's behind you, I love our constitutional officers, whether it's supervisor of elections, that would be Melanie Bell, whether it's Joe Tedder, our tax collector, our Neil Cumby.
We do a competition every year between the government offices, and their office actually won. So he owes me this year. I want some volunteers for Neil Cumby. You hear that, right, Neil?
And of course, a guy that always throws his name in, it helps you guys out a lot, Sheriff Grady Judd.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah, yeah. Talk to me when our leaders of this community and our board of county commissioners, when the leaders of this community get behind you, talk about the importance, what that tells the residents of the county, how important this is.
Our community loves them, and they're leading by example. So when they put their name in the hat or they throw their name behind us or an organization, it gives it a certain level of validity. And it just encourages people, you know, and you know, Grady Judd does so much for this community. And I'll just tell you, the other week we went in to organize our warehouse. This was a dirty job. I didn't have volunteers to do that. You reach out to our sheriff's department, and next thing you know, I have trustees being delivered to the warehouse. And those guys work, I can't tell you, if it wasn't for that program, I don't know what we would do. Those guys are the heavy lifters. They're the one that make things happen. And again, I cannot give Grady Judd enough accolades.
And as long as you have the constitutionals, the board behind you, then you realize its impact on the community. Talk about that, would you please?
Well, you know, again, as I said, we vet these families. We make sure that they are families who fall in that, I hate to use the word, but poverty level. You know, and it's nice to know that our elected officials and these people in government realize, yes, there is an issue. There is a problem here in Polk County. And this is one way that they can throw their name into the hat and help us kind of eliminate that problem. Again, it may just be a Christmas gift, but you have to realize the impact that Christmas gift makes on a child on Christmas morning who may not have had anything.
Let's talk raw numbers. You know, let's talk about the impact. Last year, what kind of numbers did you do? Let's talk a little bit about that and really what it's doing for those folks.
Well, last year I think the numbers ended up being like 15,244 children. It equates to around 55,000 toys that we give out. And I want to touch on this a little bit too, about how our operation works, and again, why we have this need for volunteers. In most distributions for Toys for Tots, what happens is you send in an application online. You have, you know, a 3-year-old girl and a 4-year-old boy, whatever, and volunteers go around and they take boxes that are labeled with toys for that age group, and they just throw toys in a bag, they zip it up, put your name on it, and you drive by and get it on a specific date. What I really love about Polk County is those 15,000 children last year, a volunteer took the time to individually shop for each one of those children.
That is really
That
cool.
parent fills out that application online, and it's a wish list. And we try to fulfill at least one item on that list for each child. We take it that extra step, which I think makes just a tremendous impact. And that is, again, part of the reason why we need so many volunteers. We'll spend 2 months in our warehouse preparing these bags for these children. And to me, that just makes it so much more special. We're not just giving the kid a generic gift. They're getting something that hopefully really makes their Christmas special.
We've talked a lot about the toys program, but there's also an aspect of the program where folks can just go and give money to the cause. Talk a little bit about every dollar that's generated within this county stays within this county.
Absolutely, 100%. So any fundraisers we do, and we encourage people to attend our fundraisers, we will help you put together fundraisers. Contact me if you have an idea for a fundraiser, whatever, because the nice thing about this program is the national office does not touch any of the funds. 100% of everything we raise here in Polk County stays in Polk County. It is put into an account that I have access to, and they monitor to make sure I'm not spending the money, frivolously. But it does stay right here. No, again, no salaries, no overhead. Everything 100% goes back to the children. So money we collected last year, and I want to say last year was our best year ever on the record. And again, I thank the people of Polk County for that. But I spend the rest of the year, and I've already been doing it, you wouldn't believe all the packages coming to my house. I'm buying now. That money that these people have generously given to us, it's turned my house into a toy land because I'm looking for those Stitch dolls.
Amazon driver and you are tight.
Brian, if you would see some of the pictures I have posted of Amazon drivers do not like me, okay? I actually, at one point, this is a true story, one day, a couple weeks ago, there were 3 Amazon trucks in front of my house at the same time. Part of it was because we give crayons and coloring books to all kids of a certain age and under, and I have ordered, I think it was 46,000 boxes of crayons. So can you imagine that delivery? And it came to my house because the warehouse wasn't ready yet. And
this is just me joking because I'm former military. You gotta keep them crayons away from the Marines.
That's pretty bad. But that's what we do. So the money it stays 100% in here in the county. I've been buying books because we make sure every child gets a book. So yeah, it's a great program because again, there is no overhead, there's no crazy frivolous expenses. We're not using it except to make sure that we're helping the community.
If you have to mention or give the words that relate to Toys for Tot, there are 3 things. There's the Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls, which were the original toys when the program started over 70 years ago.
They were dolls very similar to them, correct.
And then the most iconic is the train. And you got big news about the train. Tell me about that.
Oh, our train. That train has been a thorn in my side and also a true love for me, let me tell you. So give you a little history. The train logo, which is obviously the iconic national logo of Toys for Tots, a lot of people don't realize was designed by Walt Disney himself. So anyway, we have this train. It was donated to the Toys for Tots program here in Polk County many, many years ago, and it is built around a riding lawnmower. Well, we all know how things age and start to fall apart. And I used to joke because it's in a trailer and you have to start it up to back it out of the trailer, and you start it up and I said, I'm going to die of carbon monoxide poisoning. I know it's going to happen. This thing's smoking and spitting and it's horrendous. So I made a couple phone calls and a wonderful man, local man, actually donated a golf cart to us, Hidden Creek Golf Cart. So I'm going to give them a little plug. They're wonderful. They donated a very nicely, gently used golf cart, put brand new batteries in it. So another program that we may have discussed on here in the past, the Polk County Correctional up in Polk City actually has I call it Santa's Workshop, where the prisoners, the inmates go in and they build toys for us every year, homemade toys. So I reached out to the guy who's in charge of that program and their warden there, and I said, I had this train and it's pretty much kaput. Do you guys have any interest in helping us rebuild this? So the golf cart that was donated graciously by Hidden Creek and the train are now at the prison, and we're going to have a whole new train built around, finally, a golf cart, and I'm excited. We're going to finally be able to put our train back out there. It's always something people run up and want to see. They want to get pictures by, they donate, they put their toys in it. I am so excited about this project.
I got to ask you because, see, I have a philosophy. When I see Angela Davis Toys for Tots on my phone, answer it, and if I don't answer, I get back with you right away. And it's always yes, because no matter whatever I can do, I can do. There's got to be people going, oh God, what is she asking?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure there's some who have labeled me a lunatic. I don't care. I want to get things done.
But your expectations are, dream big, realize big, succeed big. Yeah. And that's really, if I had to pick a motto for you, that's what you do. So when that phone call comes, people are like, okay.
Well, you know what? Dream big and make it happen.
Just because, but they just know that, they know where your heart is. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm just a TV guy. If I can put you on and introduce you, if somebody sees this and says, I need to help, that's what I'm hoping for.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I'm hoping for. Look, I'm a big dreamer. I do believe in this program. If I did, I wouldn't be doing this. But I do believe in it. I mean, come on. We've all been kids. We all know how special Christmas was. Yeah. And yeah, when I call you, you might think my ideas are a little crazy sometimes, but rest assured, 99.9% of the time, I got a great idea and it's going to happen and it's going to be great for us.
Yeah. We want to talk about getting folks involved, whether it's workplaces, whether it's individuals, whether it's companies, no matter where it be. Let's talk about collection sites. Mm-hmm. Tell me a little bit about how that works.
So we need to, I feel like I'm kind of revamping the program this year, but we've had some obstacles we've run into the past, and of course you learn from those past mistakes. So drop boxes. We need our drop boxes out in the community. And obviously most of you go to Publix, you may walk into a Battery Plus store or whatever, and you will see that collection drop box where you can go and drop off a toy. The problem we have had is places, they assume that they can just put a box in their place and collect for us. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. We need collection sites, but we need you to call us or go on our website and register your box. Even if you've had a box in your store for the last 10 years, we don't care. A couple reasons for that. Cuts down fraud, and I'll go into that in a moment. It also allows us to keep an updated list on our website so that when Mary's sitting at home and goes, oh, I want to go buy some toys for Tots, let me see where I can drop them off. They can look, pull it up by zip code and know your business is available and they can go there. So it gives us a fresh list of collection sites. It also keeps down the fraud, as I was hitting on a moment ago. For instance, I got a call a year ago that a woman in Bartow was giving out toys for Tots. She had a couple of our boxes there and she was handing out toys. And the reason I got the call was because the person who was there thought she was distributing on behalf of us and she was rude. And so they called the main number and got me, and I go, wait a minute, this isn't a Toys for Tots distribution site. We do everything at our warehouse. So anyway, that's another incident. This woman was committing fraud. Yeah. I mean, I guess her heart was in the right place. She was trying to help children, but she wasn't authorized through us to be giving out toys under our name. So again, to eliminate the fraud, to make sure the public knows where to go, you've got to go online and register that drop box every year so we have a fresh list of all the locations that are assisting us.
I want to talk a lot about community partners because you keep saying this, between the volunteers, between the folks willing to be host sites. You don't get there without the people helping you behind the scenes. Let's talk a little bit about the community sponsors, and let's talk a little bit about the events too.
Okay, well, we've got a lot of stuff going on. One of our biggest supporters is a community called Sola Vida. I don't know if many people are familiar with it. They call it the Little Villages. It's a great community up towards Poinciana, right at the end of Polk County. They are doing a concert event this year. It's a tribute band, a Rolling Stones tribute band. They're hoping that at the end of that, they'll be able to supply us with 500 bicycles. And bicycles is one of the highest demand items every Christmas. They also do a big festival with, I think last year they had 4 bands, food trucks. It's huge. It's a wonderful event they do for us every year. So Sola Vida is a great supporter of ours. Champs Bar and Grill is another one who's just gotten involved with us. They're hosting a couple events for us. They're going to be doing a Toys for Tots karaoke. So a big shout out to them. They've come on board. We're really excited about that. We have a bass tournament every year. This is going to be the 12th year. A gentleman named Brian Stahl with Extreme Bass Fishing. He does this for us. They collect a lot of toys out at Camp Mac. Again, 12 years. That's the support. That's wonderful from him. Then there's other community places also. Eaglebrook. I happen to be a member there. We love it there. They've been holding a golf tournament for us every year that is open to the public, and they collect a lot of toys. We always get really nice toys for them. We have an exotic car show.
Yeah.
That's really a lot of fun. If you want to see some nice cars, they usually come into downtown. They come from Orlando, and they bring in Lamborghinis, you know, you name it. They've got them, just beautiful cars, nice toys. That they donate to us. So we have a lot of events that go on that really support us. We are in the process of revamping our website so people can go on there and see all the events, dates and times, and how to participate in those.
I'm going to give you the last 30 seconds. What I need you to do is recruit and tell the people what they need to hear most.
If you love children, and who doesn't, this is an opportunity for you to give back to your community. In Polk County alone, every year, we're seeing the numbers rise. Again, we're at 15,000 plus children a year that are in need. And as our slogan goes, every child deserves Christmas. And as a person who's been an advocate for volunteering since I was a small child, thanks to the input from my parents, there's nothing better if you love your community than to open your heart and volunteer and give back to your community.
Angela, always a pleasure seeing you. We touched a lot on the inner workings and what you need from the folks. I said, why don't you come back and see me next month, and we'll talk a little bit about if a family needs to get involved, and then we'll recap on what we did this month.
Sounds awesome.
Does that work good?
Works for me.
All right. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you.
The Marine Corps Reserve Polk County Toys for Tots program provides new unwrapped toys to needy children of Polk County, targeting children ages 1 to 13. Over 55,438 toys were distributed to 15,247 children in 2024. The Polk County Toys for Tots program utilizes an online application and eligibility verification process to ensure that the families qualify for the toys. The Toys for Tots program also works with civic organizations in selecting needy families. If you need more information on how you can make a difference this holiday season, give Toys for Tots a call, 863-209-0245, or look them up on the web at www.polkcounty-fl.toysfortots.org. If you enjoyed that episode of Polk Place, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and even check out the next one.